Hello and welcome to the Home and Learn video course for visualbasic.net. I'm Kenny Carney, and what are we going to do today? We're doing this, debugging your code. We'll cover design time errors and runtime errors in this video, I think. Or maybe that one. I will do logic errors and breakpoints later. So error handling and debugging. Types of error. You've got design time error, also known as a syntax error. These occur when the environment you're programming in doesn't understand your code. These are easy to track down in VBNet because you get a blue wiggly line pointing them out. Well, it's not blue these days. It was blue when I wrote that. It's green now. Runtime errors, a lot harder to track down. These occur when the program is running. They happen when your program tries to do something it shouldn't be doing. Example is trying to access a file that doesn't exist. And you'll see how that works shortly. Runtime errors usually cause your program to crash, which you do not want. Logic errors, these are hard to track down. They also occur when the program is running. They happen when your code doesn't quite behave the way you thought it would. Classic example is creating an infinite loop. Let's do some coding, eh? Get that one out. I'm going to file, new project. I should call it the error checking. Click OK. And I've got my form. If you place a button on your form, alright, change the text, call it design time errors. Design time errors, make it a little bit bigger. Yep, that should do it. If I change the name property, yes. In design time. Let me capitalize that one. Errors. Alright, if you add a text box to your form as well, you can leave this on the default name of text box 1. Alright, double click your code, create the code stub, give yourself some space. These are design timer as well. Design time. Right, so I'm adding a comment here for myself. I've got a cap locks on, I think. Design time errors. And one of these as well, just to pretty it up a little bit. Single quote. And these. I like to tab. You tab key. Design time errors. What are they? But suppose you did this. We added to the text box, didn't we? Text box. Alright, suppose you wrote text box 2 instead. Now I've typed a dot. Now don't get that drop down list anymore. That's the first warning. Text equals, let's see, debug. Right, so now I've got a red underline and it's telling me text box 2 is not declared. To help you out with errors, you click on view and error list. You see something appear at the bottom of your screen. If it's like this, you can extend it. Alright. You can try these ones. Text box 2 is not declared. You can double click on this one and you see a little light bulb there. On the light bulb, it'll give you some suggestions. Generate variable, generate type, change text box 2 to text box 1. That is very helpful. So I'll double click on that one. And yeah, it just changed it for me and the red underline has gone away. That is what we want. Let me try another design time error, see what will work. Let me see, I was trying to put some text in here. Text equals debug. Got another red underline. What's wrong there? str text is not declared. And you see in the error list or an error, so your program won't run. And the reason why is I haven't declared that variable. str text as string. There you go. And it's gone away. It's gone away from the error list. Let me delete that. And immediately you'll see it's a green underline now. Unused local variable str text. And you see it's not an error anymore. It's a warning. Unused local variable. For the warning, and you can do something about it if you want, but it's not gonna seriously crash your program or interfere with anything. What we could do there is just do an equal sign and place something inside of the variable. So those are design time errors. They're usually quite easy to spot because you get the underline, and if you get the red underline, have a check of your spelling, and if you make sure you haven't actually got a control called the text box one, you can click back on your form, you click on the control, and then you can check the name property. Go right to the top first. That's the first thing to do. And check the name, check your spelling. Yeah, for the green underline ones, you usually just need something placed inside of the variable, and this should go away. Let's see runtime errors. Runtime errors. I don't know the button. Yeah, so I don't have to make it the same size. Let me change the text to runtime error. Runtime. I'll do it as one word, might be two words, but there we go, runtime error, and change the name, btn runtime. And that again, I can capitalize that one. Runtime errors. Double click on here. So these are the ones that are going to cause your program to crash. Let me do some runtime errors. I want to add fancy bits, little fancy equal signs. Runtime errors. We set up two variables. Dim number one as short. I'll do another one. Dim number two as short as well. And let's use that text box, right? Text box, one text, and an equal sign. And it's something you can convert to integer, like this C int, convert to integer. Of course, we want to divide that number one by number two. Number one divided by number two. That's going to give us a number, which you then convert to an integer and place inside a text box. Let's see what happens on this one. First of all, I will start with, I'll start without debugging first. Oh, I haven't done my form, have I? Runtime error, click the button, form on. Unhandled exception has occurred in your application. You click on details, arithmetic operation resulted in an overflow. You get all these details, which are probably not helpful at all. Let me get rid of that one. Let me see the difference if I start debugging. Check that one back in. Runtime error. And you get a different type of box this time. Overflow exception was handled. This time it's more helpful. Troubleshooting tips. Make sure you are not dividing by 0, which is what we are doing. If you were to click that link, then it would launch your browser. You can also view the details. You get one of these view details box. Data, you'll see all that. Which is very puzzling. Target site. Okay. Get rid of that one. Close this one down. Alright, so I am dividing. I've got anything at all in these two. Yeah, the reason why it crashed is because by default, if you set it up like this, then number one will hold 0, and number two will also be 0. I was trying to find number 1, which was 0, and number 2, which was 0. Well, that's what I got. I can make the error go away. If I put, say, 10 in there, maybe 2. Bug. Let me start this time. Do I get an error? No, I don't. So we're okay with that one. Let me show you another type of runtime error. Let me go back to the form. Let me get the startup position for that one. Start position. Alright, so it's green, so I don't have to keep dragging. Alright, so this time I had one of these rich text box. Just like an ordinary text box, but you can do more with it. Oh, lots of fancy formatting. Let me make the form a little bit bigger. Right, it's called rich text box 1. Go back to your code. Some more space up here. And so rich text box 1. And type a dot. And you can load a file with this one. Load file. If that gets out of the way. Load file. And you need to put around brackets. And the path to your file. Suppose I add just this. Root of C. I don't know, test 10, text. If I type a comma, it'll give me some more options. This is the one I want, plain text. That one there. Right, so what is going to happen now? Let me extend that bit. And some button debug. I'll start debugging with that. Click on the box, and immediately just give me another error there. Let me put that in the center. File not found exception was unhandled. Unhandled exception of system.io.file not found exception. This is the troubleshooting tip that's helpful. Verify the file exists in the specified location. Well, for this file, it doesn't exist in a specified location because I don't have a test10.txt file and the root of C. So to help you catch an error of that type, you can do something called a try catch. Try catch. Error checking. Try catch. See how that works. You start with the word try. So try means try this code. You press your enter key, you get catch as exception. And try catch as exception. So that is the type, and that is an ordinary variable, and it's called x. And then you've got n try on here. Right, so for the try the code, I want rich text box 1. I want to put that on there. Right, so I've placed try this code, try to load this file, and catch any errors here. So I can have a message box again. Message box. Show, and I can use that x variable x dot. You'll see a whole list of properties you can use here. There's one called message. Let's see what that does. Debug. I'll start with that. Debugging runtime error. See, and could not find the file. So this time it doesn't crash at all. Could not find file. So that's the whole point of using a try catch. So your programs are not going to crash on you. If you catch any exceptions, catch any errors. There's also finally, there's a finally part as well. Finally. And for the finally, it always gets executed. Always. And you might want to do any cleanup code here. For example, if you've opened up a text file, and you might want to close it there. We do show and finally finished. Right, debug, start. Right, so there's the error, could not find file. And it's finally finished. So finally always executed. If you want to do anything like cleanup code, and you can do it in a finally part. So they are runtime errors and design time errors. In the next video we'll cover logic errors. And what else are we doing in the next video? I can't remember. And we'll see you then anyway.